Hi there, this is Nancy Ekpazu, and I'm super delighted to have you with me on this video. Thank you for stopping by to watch. And if you're watching from my YouTube channel, please make sure that you subscribe right away. I don't know what you're waiting for. I have amazing videos on school and workplace administration. I'm going to start sharing my slide right away so that we start this now. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I hope you can see my slide. Colorful and nice all for you. So today we're looking at a topic titled, Are You a Disruptive Manager? Are you a disruptive manager? And like I said earlier, my name is Nancy Ekpezu. I'm the lead consultant at Pezu Smith Consulting, a company that I founded in 2018, but which took off officially in 2020. I'm an education and management consultant and also a life coach. I'm the author of three printed and phenomenal and amazing books. Dear Educator was my first book published in 2019 before I left paid employment to start Peso Smith Consulting. And the second book is The School Administrator's Companion. Unfortunately, I do not have a copy right here. I delivered the last copies today, but I have some with one of my contacts somewhere in Lagos. And then my third and that second book is actually for school administrators or those desiring to be school administrators. And my third book, Effective Boarding House Administration, which was published in December 2021 and got a lot of media attention because of how timely it came. I'm a TEDx speaker. I like to say that a lot. I spoke at TEDx Asata in 2020, February. You can check YouTube for TEDx Asata, and the video currently has over 8,500 views. I have about 30 years of experience in the education space, even though I'm a chartered administrator, and I've received several recognitions both locally and internationally. In 2020, I was named a global educational influencer. And in 2021, I was featured among 100 admired people in education. In 2022, I was featured among Shiro's most inspiring women. And in 2020, again, towards the end of the year, I received an award from International Internship University in India for my contribution to the development of education in Africa. I am, yes, all of this and more. And apart from those three published books, which are in paperback edition, I also have two e-books, and one of them is From Curiosity to Mastery, my ChatGPT journey. And lately, I've been teaching a lot on AI, apart from administration and management, because of my interest in it and all of the amazing things that it has helped me to do in my business and in the businesses of my clients. So these are some of the awards. That's me there. Look at me, yeah. And look at me here. This was this too. Okay, so those little things kind of encourage you sometimes. I'm not a very big person on awards and all that, and I would not lobby to get one or canvas for one. But if I do get recognized for it, I feel appreciated. All right, so these are my books. That's the second book I was talking about, The School Administrator's Companion. And one thing I've done lately that really surprised me was that I picked up the courage to ride a horse. How many of you have ever ridden a horse? If you have, just say yes in the comments. So I used to be really scared of horses, and the closest I got to one was a few times, not just one, was to just take a picture. You know, when you go to the beach and they tell you just come and pose and take a picture like you can ride a horse. So I did that a few times, both in Nigeria and on one or two trips. And this time around, I decided that I was not just going to take a picture, I was going to overcome my limiting belief and get right on a horse. And when I did, I cannot tell you how freeing it was to just do that. And so even though this is not a topic, but just in case you have any area of your life you're struggling with, it just takes courage, determination, and taking that bold step sometimes to just make a fool of yourself. And no, I didn't fall and I didn't get into the water. The horse didn't jump into the water and kill me or anything. He said I had a great ride on it. Well, I did it while afraid with my heart thumping, but hey, I did. And after that, I did it again. And so I like to tell people now that I ride horses, even though I'm not perfect at it, but just knowing that I could get out of my comfort zone and do this, well, that was a huge one for me. If you know me, I'm an introvert, and even though people know what I do, but the truth is I am a very private person, and sometimes just knowing that I could do this, get out there, ride a horse. It was huge. So I celebrate myself and I celebrate you too for taking a bold step on the things that you thought you couldn't do. All right, so let's look at what we have for this topic. Remember, the topic is, are you a disruptive manager? So we're going to introduce us to the concept of disruptive management and then all just out of our comfort zones to become disruptive managers. One of the amazing things is that the things I share with people and teach, every time I do it, I'm also encouraging myself and also urging myself to do things. So don't think I'm preaching at you. I also learn when I teach, okay? And but I don't teach what I've never practiced. That's one thing. I might be getting better at it while teaching, but the truth is, I try to teach what I've already done and tasted and tried and taught. You know what I mean? So I remember in a training session I had in Calabar recently. I just got in a few days ago, by the way. I told the participants who were in the school that our world has changed in a way that it will never be the same again. And if you think that you're still going to just relax and be there, I have news for you. Nobody's taking permission from you to come up with innovations or anything. Nobody's saying, "Oh, you're so pretty, Winifred," or "You're so handsome, Mr. Fred," or whatever your name is. Nobody is ever going to disrupt or rock your world. No, just as you're waking up, boom, there's ChatGPT. As you're just trying to get into the kitchen to cook, some other thing comes up. There are new plugins now you can use with ChatGPT to do it. Oh, yes, now there is something you can use to even detect if someone has written on ChatGPT. People don't sleep. Tell you, you're snoring and sleeping. Other people are trying out one thing or the other, and tech is taking over the world, and AI is now here to stay. Now we're talking about robot wives, all manners of things. And then you want to just sit there as a manager and be telling people, this is how we've always done it. No way. I chose this topic. It just came to me in a flash today. I was done for my activities for the day. By the way, I'm working on a book, so I've been on it. And if you know me with my books, I'm very thorough and detailed. I'm a perfectionist, big confession. So I have to go through it over and over again. Even when it's come back from my editor, I go through it again, be sure that this is what I want to put out there. If you've read any of my books, you know that they're top notch. I don't joke with editing. I don't joke with the quality of production. You should get copies so that you'll understand what I mean. So our world has changed. There's been so much disruption. The internet came, everybody was like, oh, this is the best thing that's happened since sliced bread. And then there was social media. Oh, we all got on there. Just when we thought we're only socializing, it became business. And now if you're a business and you're not on social media, people are wondering what's wrong with you. I mean, there's always one thing or the other coming up, and then the cloud of big data analytics, renewable energy, electric cars now, even in Nigeria, or nanotechnology, robotics, artificial intelligence, or you just name it. And if you think they're taking permission from you to do all of this, I have news for you. Nobody is taking permission. It's just happening. Just boom, you know. So, what does it mean to be disruptive, really? I had to check up the meaning of this word, okay? Because sometimes we use words because they're just buzzwords, everybody's using them, and we're just happy using them without necessarily finding out the meaning. So, to be disruptive means to cause something to be unable to continue in the normal way. Technology has disrupted our world. We can't go back to how we used to be, right? We really can't. It also means to interrupt the normal progress or activity of something. It means that while all of this is disrupting us, we can also be disruptive, right? If I understand that right. Okay, so it means to be disruptive means to cause something to be unable to continue in the normal way. When you take on a role as a manager, can people see that things will not just continue in the normal way about you? I remember my last job was a change management job, and believe me, that was the toughest school admin position I ever had because I had to work with a team that had to make a transition from just being laid back and doing things the way they always thought was proper. And I want to use this word to be consciously not very exposed to a whole lot of best practices outside and what was going on. And so it was very tough initially to just be the one who bring all the disruption and saying, no, you can't go on this way. And you're always looking like the bad manager who doesn't want people to do things the way they've always done it, more like rocking their comfort zone and moving them out to be better versions of themselves so that they could know what best practices were in teaching, in administration, in management, in school leadership generally. And it wasn't just an easy one, but I'm so happy about all of the progress that we made in the number of years that I was there and all of the amazing testimonials that I've been hearing with the people that I worked with on that job. Okay, so it meant that I was able to cause something not to continue in the same way that it was. So basically, I was disruptive to the system even though and I tell people that to be disruptive, you don't necessarily need to be loud. And if you know me, I'm not a very loud person, but I get results when I work with teams, okay? So and that's what we're gonna be looking at. So you have to be innovative to be disruptive as a manager. When you get a new managerial position, whether as an administrator or whatever position it is that you have, or as a manager, one of the things you want to do is to find out how things have always been done there. But you must never let the people remain the same way. And they must never box you into that. That's how we've always done it here. Why are you bringing this? While I do not advocate that you come and overhaul like a whole system and rock everywhere and scatter things and shatter tables. I also do know that there are systemic ways, very systematic ways of introducing change into a system, and before you know it, people are actually adjusting and making the necessary alignments and changes to be able to move out of their comfort zones to work. For example, lately you must have heard about ChatGPT and all of the things going on. And the question would be, why would any manager not want to adapt something that is going to make life a lot easier, is going to make you more productive, saves you time. Instead of carrying work home all of the time, you now have the time to maybe relax with your family, relax with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or relax with your spouse or your kids, if you're married and with kids. And you have more social life, connect better, get more done. try things you never thought you could do, respond to your emails. I think it's such a great idea. So when you bring up things like, oh, would you want to try AI in your technology, maybe in your organization, and somebody says, oh, please leave that thing, is for the Gen Zs. No, it is not. It's never too late to start out with technology. It's never too late to try. People even people, I spoke at one international conference, I think it was over a month ago, and the topic I was asked to speak on was, it's never too late to start out in technology. And guess what? There were people in their 60s at this conference. I think it was hosted by a team in Malaysia, and I was invited to speak. There were people in their 60s, in their 50s, who were eager to learn about technology and to know that somebody was doing it despite them not being a Gen Z, and all of that. And, so you have to be innovative. You have to learn to come out of your comfort zone as well, in order to be disruptive. You can't disrupt from your comfort zone. You really cannot. And right now, if you're not um, adopting a management style where the approach is different from what you've always done, where you can improve on what you've done, then you might be having a lot coming for you soon, because the world has left you behind. Okay, so a disruptive managerial style would be one where the manager of the approach, uh, where the manager approaches changes, as opposed to how it's always been done. I think there's a typo there. Okay, so it's not enough to respond to changes in the environment. We need to rise up and cause a disruption in our own organizations and in whatever capacity that we find ourselves. So with people under you, say that they become better versions of themselves, or that you have led them to think out of the box, to bring innovation, to be creative, to be problem solvers, or are they always waiting for your directive to just do things and waiting for the same old style? Are they bored with your style of leadership and management? Okay, so managing or leading in your comfort zone is always average, to say the least. Okay, if every year, every term, every session, every end of school year, every beginning of school year, every end of the year, people know exactly what to expect, and there is a problem. There should be some element of change, some new things that you've added to yourself, some innovation and creativity that you're bringing to your team to ignite and inject that to them as well. And to do this, you need to have a growth mindset. You see, sorry, I need to drink some water. Cheers. So you need to develop a growth mindset that accepts changes, that allows for growth, that allows you to think out of the norm, and to get things done, you know, and to focus on the positive side of change. Some people are overwhelmed even with technology. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Just when you're saying, oh, let me get used to ChatGPT 3.5, the next thing you're told, oh, there's a version 4 and a 5 is coming. Before you know it, maybe there's a 6, it's going to be a 7. You never know. There's no end to all of these things. But let's look at the positive side of change, even though there is coming with its own negatives too. How can I use this to better myself? How can I do better on my job? How can it make me more productive? How can it save me time so that I can even have time to rest? Okay. How if an email is to be written, for example, in if it takes you normally 15 minutes to craft an email, and there's something, a tool that can make you do it within seconds, why would you not opt for it? And it's free. Oh, come on. All you need is the internet. I would opt for it if you'd ask me. And then one of the things you need to know is how to manage people under you to change. Because until you can actually bring what you know to the people under you and they follow, okay, and begin to make the necessary changes, then you'll just be the only one shining, and that's not very good. So no matter how much you're developing yourself, if it's not rubbing off on those that are under you to also ignite changes and help them to understand the disruption going on and how they should be a part of it, then there'll be a problem. So you need to learn skills for change management. Regular management is fine and tough, but change management, that's a different ballgame altogether because I've been involved in change management. And I do know that that's one of the toughest parts of leading people, because we are people of habit, and it's so easy to say, no, this is how we've always done it. And most of the time, you're going to meet resistance from the people that you're leading because they really are used to it already, doing things a certain way. You're coming to rock them out of their comfort zone and tell them what they're doing is not the best way. Well, it's not going to go down with them. So you need their participation. If you need one of the videos where I talked about various types management styles, you might want to watch it. I don't want to go into details here, but you need to learn skills for change management. You need to learn to break the rules. And I'm not talking about your school policies and procedures now, so that you don't come for me, okay? So it doesn't always have to be the way it's always been. Break the rules. I remember I got into a school admin position once, and I was told that the admission process, the parents had to come to the school to come and buy the form, and after buying the form, they would now go and fix a date for interview for the test. The kids will come on a certain day, take the test. They will come and collect the result. It was just so I couldn't understand why all of that couldn't be done in one day, and so I had to revise the entire admission process to include both the exams and the interviews on the same day so that parents didn't have to come all the way bringing their kids first to come and take the test, buy the form, take the test. And then we found a way to just put the forms out there so that people could. But until someone had to do that, or it wasn't thought of. It wasn't thought of as possible because what I kept hearing was this is how we've always done it for years, for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years. But it can't always be the same way that you have done it. Something has to go because times are not the same. Okay, it's like telling someone, for example, to keep using I don't know if you remember these pots they use in storing water. It was really cool. I saw some in my village when I was very young. I don't get to see those things much these days. But what happened? The fridge came. And so it would be odd to walk into anybody's house and just see a pot for cooling water. So what do we use? We started with the fridge, and then we had freezers, and from now we have water dispensers. You don't even need to have a fridge anymore. If you don't want to, unless maybe for store, at least for water, you don't need to anymore. You know, your water dispenser does it. So that's how it is. We just keep evolving and moving, and you have to move with the times. You have to be disruptive too in your own corner and not wait for, everything to happen to you. And then you're always catching up all of the time, either in your organization or outside or in your profession or anywhere. Learn to be curious and to ask why. When the people you lead tell you, oh, mom, oh, sir, this is how we've always done it, show them why it's not good to be mentally lazy and why they need to also accept new ideas. Because if you, as the manager, are able to understand why you need to bring in changes, then why not the people? To learn to be curious and to ask why. The question should be, why do you think it should be done that way if you have always done it that way? Have you thought of better ways to do it? And throw back this at your subordinates, get them to answer and be introspective about it, then they'll begin to gain insights to it. Because a lot of times when you try to force things on them, when you're bringing changes, it becomes really tough to get them to participate, ask them why, make them to begin to get curious and to know why they've always done it that way. Maybe it's just out of habit or that nobody thought of a better way. Okay, give them the assignment to go look for a better way. That's how to manage them to also think and be disruptive in their own corners. Okay, then build your capacity to lead and keep developing yourself. When you're leading people, you constantly have to be developing yourself because there's some people on your team that will put you to the task, okay? And you need to constantly develop your capacity to lead, keep developing yourself. What book are you reading? Do you journal? Do you have times for self-reflection and to improve on yourself? Or do you just keep doing the routine, same thing, same every day like that? You know, sometimes just being overly busy around in managerial tasks does not mean that you're being productive or that you're bringing changes or that things are necessarily changing or moving. And so you need to have time for reflection. What book am I reading? How is it affecting me? How is my practice in management? Am I better than what I was maybe 4 years ago, 1 year ago, last year? How am I performing this year? You should have times for that. What professional development courses am I attending? This year alone, if I tell you how much I've learned already, you know, apart from trying to master ChatGPT and teach it to others, and I've found that as I teach, I keep getting better too. Because they ask me questions, I go back and research, and I've done that in quite a number of forums, okay, or fora rather. So I now, you know, always ask myself, what can I do? How do I improve myself? Um, my books were like this last time. What can I do to improve on them? Constantly be developing yourself, be getting better and better and better. I hope this has been helpful. So my charge to you is go out there and be disruptive. This is actually disruptive. Oh, this autocorrect did me bad here. Okay, so that is it. I am stopping sharing the slides here. And I don't know what you picked from this video, but please tell me what it is or what has worked for you in being disruptive. Can we hear from you? Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe to this channel and remember to follow me. Just Google Nancy Ekpezu, NancyEkpezu. I'm on LinkedIn as Nancy Ekpezu. I'm on Facebook as Nancy Mba Ekpezu. I'm on Instagram as Nancy Ekpezu. I'm on Twitter as Nancy Ekpezu. So just look for me everywhere, connect with me. And I have visit my website. Yes, most very importantly, www.nancyekpezu.com. And also, oh, let me see. I think there's a slide there. Is there any slide I didn't show? I need to be sure before I leave. Let me be sure. Oh, okay. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Exactly. I knew that I couldn't have left out at least. Okay, so that's my website, www.nancyekpezu.com. This is my YouTube channel, Nancy Ekpezu. Subscribe and then watch my TEDx talk on YouTube. Just Google TEDx Asata, ASATA, or just check Nancy Ekpezu on YouTube. I'm sure my TEDx talk will come up. And you can contact me on WhatsApp at +234-803-5880-367. A team member will be there to attend to you. You can also send an email to pezosmithconsulting@gmail.com or info@nancyekpezu.com. And on Facebook, I'm Nancy Mba Ekpezu, like I said earlier. I have a Facebook group for school administrators, school owners, school managers, and those desiring to start their schools or be in administration. And it's called the Educational Administration Network. I'm on LinkedIn as Nancy Ekpezu. I'm on Instagram as Nancy Ekpezu. I'm on Twitter as Nancy Ekpezu. I hope this has been worth your while. I'm going to stop sharing here now. And remember, subscribe, make a comment, and like this video. And please share it. I'm trying to grow my channel as well. Incidentally, I was not even deliberately growing this channel. I just said to share. But now that we're 1,000, I think we could do better by getting in more people. The more eyeballs we have on these videos, the better. Don't you think we all need to at least adopt best practices in administration and management? And if through this video that helps you, don't you think another person should be helped too? And I'm available to train you in-house. I'm available for in-house training. Last year, I did a lot of traveling, Akure, a lot to Abuja several times, about 6 times, Enugu, Calabar, just traveling. I would love to be in Port Harcourt this year. Will you be the one to invite me? I have an invite to be in Ghana as well. So let's do it. I love traveling. I really enjoy sharing the knowledge that I have, the skills, the experiences, my talents, and everything with others. So invite me to the wedding house in your city. Who knows? Yeah, we get to meet. Thank you so much. I won't leave without saying it again. Subscribe to this video right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank